thank you so much for escorting me back here. This is the first time I've ever been able to make it back from some ruins without being chased or bitten or... I don't know how to begin to express my appreciation.
You don't need to thank us. It's our duty as bracers.
I
think you'd be better off hiring some bracers to begin with next time you go off to investigate some ruins.
My head says yes, but my wallet says no. I'll try and save up a bit, though. Well, have a wonderful day, and I hope we can all meet again.
Naturally.
I think it's about time we said goodbye as well. I was a bit nervous at first, but you kids did a fine job. Let me just say thank you to the both of you.
That's what I'd like to call raw skill.
Now don't get all cocky on me. The bracers I know would make you two look like little fledglings, not ready to leave the nest. You're gonna need to work harder.
I'll try to remember that.
So, are the two of you headed back to the company soon?
Nah, we're gonna spend a day or so relaxing here in Roland. I need to write up a rough draft for some articles and such.
I'll head over to the Orbital Factory and get these photographs developed. Take it easy, you two.
Take it easy.
I guess this is the last of the jobs we got from Dad. They were much tougher than I thought they'd be.
I agree with you there.
We're done.
I feel like I have a greater awareness now of what it means to be a bracer. It's not just about fighting for justice.
There you go again, saying all the right things. But yeah, I guess I get where you're coming from.
It seems like we've got a long road ahead of us if we want to succeed in this profession. For the time being, why don't we report to the guild?
Sounds like a plan.
That sounds like a good idea.
That sounds like a good idea.
Oh, but before we go, how are you doing? Still not feeling well?
Thanks for asking, but I'm feeling a lot better.
That's good. It's good to feel better. It really is. Looks like there's only 4 enemy entries left. Alright. Sugar's here.
Oh, Estelle and Joshua.
Shara? What are you doing here?
This is a rare occasion. You're usually out and about.
I just finished the jobs I took over for your father. And I was reporting to the guild.
So you finished your load too, huh?
Somehow or other, I guess. I heard from Ina that you guys aren't doing too bad yourselves. I guess everything I went through to train the two of you amounted to something.
We're grateful too. Well, I guess we'll report this in as well then.
Go ahead. Let's hear what you've got.
Reported about escorting the reporters. The Liberal Media. 2000 Mira, 4 BP. Rank advancement to Junior Bracer 7th class. Received Eagle Eye Quartz as a perk. There you go.
Good work, you two. How about you, Sherazard? Don't you think they've done a fine job?
For a bunch of newbies, you did an average job.
Average.
But you shouldn't be satisfied with that level of work. Especially you, Estelle. You're always the first to get on that high horse of yours.
She likes to get up on her soapbox. Mitch style.
Okay, I get it already.
Great work, all of you. I'm surprised that we were able to fill the work gap left by Cassius so quickly. I wonder if we'll be able to relax for a bit now.
Probably not.
I don't know. I can imagine the downtime might be a bit of a drag.
Well, that won't be a problem since there are plenty of other small jobs like patrolling the roads and exterminating monsters.
It's been a while since I've been able to take a break. All right, it's time for my reward. I'm going to drink until I can't drink anymore tonight. Estelle, Joshua, you two join me as well.
Eh? We have to watch you get plastered and make a fool of yourself?
Okay.
Oh, so what you're saying is that you're turning down my invitation? You've got a lot of nerve to do something like that to your mentor.
Meh.
What am I supposed to say? Your drinking habits are intolerable. You cause a ruckus, dance like a maniac, and you try to strip in public.
Agreed. It's pretty embarrassing.
Ario style.
Sherazard, just where do you think you're going to take these underage kids?
Come on, the alcohol is what makes things entertaining. But if you're so against coming along with me, then I don't need you, Estelle.
Really?
Yup. Instead, I'll just have Joshua make up for your absence.
Uh-oh.
Why me? Shara?
Now hold on a minute.
Joshua, you look like you'll make a fine companion. Whether we're talking booze or something else behind closed doors, I'll help break you in.
Uh-oh.
Break me in?
All right, you big pervert. Joshua, why are you drooling like that?
It's not what you think!
We've got a major problem!
Uh-oh. Of course we did.
Huh? Mayor Klaus?
Don't cough up a lung, sir.
So, Joshua, Sherazard, am I glad to see you?
Saved by the bell. What's wrong, sir? And why are you in such a hurry?
This is terrible!
Uh-oh.
My home! Disaster! It's gone!
Your home's gone? With the beep?
What?
All right, calm down, Mayor Klaus. Take a deep breath and let it out.
Apparently, it seems as though my home was robbed while I was out.
There really are burglar tools being used.
What?
That's not being calm at all, Estelle.
I had something to speak with Father Divine about, so I was over at the chapel, and when I came home, it was rather odd for no one to greet me at the door. So I looked around and the rooms were in a state of great disarray.
Uh-oh.
Wait, what about your wife and Lita?
Don't worry, they're both fine. I found them locked up in the attic room.
That's a relief to hear.
It's lucky that no harm came to anyone. It won't get us anywhere just sitting around here. So could you take us to the crime scene, Mayor Klaus?
A crime was committed, didn't you know? Where's Nash and Joe when you need them?
Absolutely. I appreciate your cooperation.
Wait for me. I'm going too.
Good idea. We may be able to be of some help.
Well, if you insist. Ina, we'll be at the mayor's place investigating the incident. If you have anything come up, just toss it on Ridge's shoulders.
Ridge style.
I'm sure he's just relaxing at the bar anyway.
Yes, I'll do that. And everyone, be careful.
Better be careful. Uh-oh.
Wow, this place is an absolute mess.
Someone threw books everywhere.
The crooks really tore through here.
Look at the safe!
The septium which was supposed to be given to Her Majesty the Queen has been stolen.
Of course it was.
I'm really sorry, especially after having you go to all the trouble to bring it here.
The safe wasn't as safe as one would think.
It's not you who should be apologizing. It's the crooks who are in the wrong. By the way, how are the other rooms in the house?
The other rooms, for the most part, appear to have been left untouched. They're about as messy as the attic room in which my wife and Lita were locked up in.
Estelle, Joshua, there's something I want you to do.
Uh-oh.
Which is...
I'll speak with the mayor about the incident. I want you two to check out the inside of the house.
You mean like an on-site investigation?
Are you sure we're up to the task?
Since we're all here, splitting up would be the best way to cover the most ground, no?
Suppose we're police detectives now.
All right, we'll see what we can do.
Proceed carefully and deliberately. All right, Mayor Klaus, how about we talk in the parlor?
Sure. Now, where to begin?
An on-site investigation, huh? I'm starting to get butterflies in my stomach.
How about we start from this room? And let's not forget to ask for witness statements from the other residents.
Sounds like a plan.
So we just want to check things out here. This freaking song. You gotta love it.
The gift that we delivered to the mayor for the queen is... Those crooks are not gonna get away with this.
It doesn't look like they jimmied the door either.
Jimmied style.
They must have decrypted the combination and opened it, or...
Could they have really cracked the combination?
It's not impossible, but I imagine it'd be difficult for anyone besides a skilled pro. My best guess is that they figured out the combination using a much simpler means.
What do you mean by simpler means?
Well, let's see. They could have, for example, dusted the buttons with a special powder. A powder like that would have absorptive properties, and due to its fineness, it would be invisible to the naked eye. However, if a blue light were placed over it, it would glow.
All right, and?
Now, let's imagine for a minute that the mayor entered the combination with the powder present. The powder on the buttons would stick to his fingers and come off. This would be one way to know which buttons were pressed.
Now, wait a minute. Wouldn't they still not know the order in which the buttons were pressed?
That's not exactly the case. As the powder collected on the fingers increased, the amount taken from the buttons would decrease.
One episode when Nash and Joe asked a guy info on another guy. When the guy repeatedly asked to pee very bad, when the guy gave Nash and Joe the info. When Nash said they didn't know he had to pee and let him use the bathroom.
In other words, the crooks could press the buttons in order starting from the least luminescent. It might be a little more difficult if there were duplicate numbers, but the crook should be able to make a pretty good guess as to what they are.
That makes sense. Joshua, are you a genius or something?
That's just basic knowledge. Anyway, let's check out the buttons. Just as I thought, powder was used. Now there's no doubt in my mind that this safe was opened using the same method I just explained.
Dun dun.
Oh, right. Now, the big question is, who dusted the buttons with that powder?
It was Newfie, I swear.
We know it would have had to at least be someone who visited the residence.
Right. Now, figuring out who that is, that's going to be the tricky part.
This place is all torn apart. Lita would probably faint if she saw this.
It looks like all the books on the shelf have been scattered about the room. It seems kind of senseless to have done all this.
Senseless.
This is just a clutter box, right? It's empty as well.
The box lock looks like it was burned off. The criminals may have used an orbital gun.
He's got a gun! 'Cause I'm a criminal!
It's just like the mayor to have a ton of difficult books like this.
It looks like he's got some valuable antique books here as well. The criminals either had no idea about the value of the books, or...
Or what? Finish your thought, sir. So you want to make sure you go out here and check the balcony.
Look, there's some marks on this railing.
You're right. And they're fresh, too. It looks like something metal dug into the wood.
Something metal, you say?
Are you all right, ma'am?
Yes, I'm fine. The intruders weren't violent toward us.
Is there anything in particular you noticed about the intruders?
They were wearing masks, so I wouldn't be able to tell you about any specific features.
We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking.
That reminds me, I'm certain the front door was locked. I locked the door just to be safe, since my husband had gone to the chapel, and there were just the two of us here. I wonder how in the world they got in.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I had such a scare. I was cleaning up the attic when suddenly a bunch of masked men came barging in.
Masked men, huh? That means this wasn't a one-man job.
I bet they were part of the Blue Man group.
How many people were in the group?
I'd probably guess about 3 or 4. Oh, that reminds me. One of them was short. It might have even been a girl.
You don't say. That doesn't sound suspicious or anything.
Huh? What's this?
Found Surveillance leaf.
Don't you think it's a bit strange for a leaf to be in a place like this? On top of that, it's not a type that grows around here.
You're sharp, Estelle.
It's a clue, didn't you know?
This is the place where the residents were locked up. It was probably dropped by one of the criminals as they were locking everybody up.
So it's a key piece of material evidence, right?
Surveillance leaf. A tree leaf found in the attic of the mayor's residence. Okay. Anything else? I don't think so. Alright. Let's go downstairs, shall we?
Are you really done investigating? It seems a little too quick for me.
Not yet.
How about looking around a little more carefully? I'm sure there's something you've missed.
There certainly is.
This is what things looked like when I came home. I didn't get a glimpse of the criminals either.
There were mustard stains all over the house! By God! Do 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 do.
They said that the door was locked at the time of the burglary, right? It doesn't look like the lock's been broken either.
Which means they got in another way.
I've had the mayor run me through all the details. How about you two? Did you find anything?
Did we ever? Yep, we found lots of new evidence.
All right, then let's check the details one by one and see what you've come up with.
So we're gonna have to answer some questions here.
First off, what were the criminals after?
something that could be sold for Mira. The food preserves from the kitchen. The septium in the safe, of course.
How many of them were there?
The crime was carried out by a lone woman, you want to say? There was a group of 3 or 4.
Where did they get into the house from?
You want to say? From the terrace on the 2nd floor.
Point blank, what is the portrait of those thought to have committed the crime?
Relatives of major class. Somebody who works at the Malga mine. None of the above. So you want to see a traveler who visited recently?
Wow, you did a good job investigating. It looks like we'll be able to specify who the criminals are with this information. Mayor Klaus. Over the past 2 or 3 days, have you had any new faces in your study?
When you put it that way, I guess there's been a number of people.
Oh, yeah?
That reporter from the magazine company was one.
Oh, so those two came to visit you too, huh?
But at the time of the crime, they were with us at the Esmelis Tower. I think we can cross them off the list of suspects.
I see. So, Mayor Klaus, were there any others?
Other than that, there was only Josette. But let's not kid ourselves here.
I think it'd be a bit of a stretch for her to be our thief.
Oh, yeah? I wouldn't put it past anybody.
After all, she's a student at the Royal Academy.
Criminals aren't always dressed so they can be easily spotted.
Indeed.
As for a school uniform, if someone put their mind to it, they could create a replica.
This is replica!
But I'm telling you, she was a really nice girl. She was modest and courteous. Right, Joshua?
I'm sorry to say this, but I completely disagree.
Huh?
During that time, when the mayor put the septium into the safe, that girl's eyes lit up like a hunter's, eyeing her prey. Of course, since I had no conclusive evidence, I couldn't call her out on it. But, at least to me, she didn't look like any ordinary student.
You must be joking.
Unbelievable.
At any rate, it looks like we're going to have to ask this girl a few questions. You wouldn't happen to know where she is, would you?
If I remember right, she should be staying at the hotel. But she said something about taking off from Roland sometime today.
Bum, bum, bum.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to hurry then. Estelle, Joshua, let's try the hotel first.
Sounds like a plan.
Right!
Understood.
Sherazard joins our party. She's got higher HP. And she's a few levels higher. Level 12. And our level 9. Sherazard Harvey. Of course she uses whips. Viper, a light, easy-to-handle leather whip. She's pretty much got the best equipment on him. No accessories, though. Or bent. So she's mainly wind element. She's got evade 1, hit 1, dexterity up by 5. Shield 1, art defense up by 5, and attack 1, strength defense up by 5. Sylvan Guard, Firebolt, and Airstrike. Airstrike! Fun. There you go. Sadist Whip is her S-Crap. Envelops an enemy in a fierce flogging storm. Flogging. Midnight come and me want to go home.
I can't believe something like this happened while I was away.
I can't believe what they've been saying about our Cheese Desert sports teams.
I have also personally asked that the guild conduct the investigation. I apologize for the short notice, but your assistance in this matter would be highly appreciated.
Cool. Alrighty then. You have anything new to say?
It looks like the intruders took off with a bunch of preserved food.
They stole food! Those little bastages!
I wonder if they were hungry.
They probably just did it to ruin dinner. Punks.
When I think about the fact that I'm going to have to clean up that study, my head starts to spin.
Oof.
When I get my hands on those criminals, I'm going to give them a beating like they'll never forget.
Have fun with that. Is there ever anything going on out here? You notice that? Alright. Before we move on, I'm gonna go ahead and use the facility. I shall return.